Yo, what's going on? It's your boy, Mr. Locario, the bad boy of the dating game. What's good? So listen, guys, what I want to tell you in this audio is that what's going to help you get better dates, get more women, make things happen for you in your dating life is if you change the story that you tell yourself about yourself, right? You got to change your story. So what does that mean? That means that you have to change the way that you think about yourself when it pertains to dating and relationships and getting women and all this other stuff, right? Because if you are not having success in your dating life, it's usually because your story is dictating that you are not going to get this success, right? I'll give you an example. I get a lot of emails from guys who always tell me, and it's funny, it's like the same email from all these different dudes. They're like, hey, Mr. Locario, it's because I look ugly, that's the reason why I can't get girls. I look ugly, so I can't get girls, right? That's their story, right? So this is why they're not making it happen. This is why they're not getting girls, because they're telling themselves this story, and then it plays out in real life. See, we each are we're all telling ourselves stories. We're all telling ourselves certain things that we believe that we, see as true. And then they play out. That's the way it goes. So the thing is, if you want a different outcome, you have to change your story. And then you have to believe that, and you have to stick to that. Right? The problem is that a lot of you guys, your stories are negative. Your stories are about you losing. Your stories is about you. No one wants you. You're a loser and you're ugly and no girls want to have sex with you. This is your story. Right? But then if you change your story and you actually start to, work off of that new story, then new things will happen. You understand? It's really that simple. The thing is, what's going to trip you up is that if you change your story, let's say like you're one of those guys that are like, oh, I'm too ugly and girls don't want me, right? Now let's say I tell you, hey, how about we change your story and say, listen, when I talk to girls actually like me, right? That's your new story, right? Now what's going to happen is that me and you are going to go out, we're going to talk to some girls, and some girls are going to reject you, right? Now, what's going to happen is that you're going to go back to your old story because you're making what's happening in that moment deter you from making the new things happen with your new story, right? So the thing is that with your story, you have to believe it even in the face of you not actually getting what you want in the moment, because you need for it to gel. You need for it to, to take time to actually come to fruition. You understand what I'm saying? It's the same way where if somebody's running a business, let's say if somebody's starting a business, right? When people are starting businesses, there's going to be a lot of setbacks. There's going to be a lot of things that's not going to go right. There's going to be a while where they're going to, not be making that much money. You understand? There's going to be times where they're going to be losing a whole bunch of money. But the only reason why businesses succeed is because the person or the people who are running the business told themselves a certain story. They tell themselves, hey, my business is going to be successful. We're going to be making X amount of dollars in X amount of time. We're going to make this happen. This is going to go down. Our business is going to, change the world and all this other stuff, right? So this is the story that they're telling themselves even when shit is not going the way it's supposed to go, right? The people who fail in business are the people who are telling themselves stories of failure. They're like, oh, damn, this is taking too long. And, oh, we lost all this money. I guess we're not good. Nobody likes us. We suck. It's the business is failing. We don't have enough to do this. We can't do this. We can't do that. And then what happens is that they end up not doing the stuff that they're supposed to do. And then their business fails. So the way that this works, when you're changing your story, is that you're basically changing the way that you think and therefore changing the way you act. You're changing the way you think, and then therefore you would change the way you act. Right? So let's go back to the guy who's like, I'm too ugly to get girls, no girls like me, all this other stuff, right? Now, let's say, for example, me and this guy is at a party, and then I see a girl that I know, and she's with her friend, right? So I see this girl I know, and I'm like, hey, Stacy, what's going on? How you been? What's going on? How you doing? Oh, who's your friend? Oh, Jennifer. How you doing, Jennifer? Nice to meet you. This is my friend, guy who thinks he's ugly. You know what I mean? So now what happens is I'm talking to Stacy, and you think Jennifer is hot, right? But your story is girls don't like you because you're ugly. So again, the way you think is the way you're going to act. So since you think girls don't like you because you're ugly, what you're going to do is you might not even really try to holler at her. Why? Because you think girls don't like you because you're ugly. So the way that you're acting, you're basically not talking to her, or you're talking to her and you're nervous and you're insecure. You understand? And this is why you're not getting her, because since you think girls don't like you because you're ugly, you're going to think Jennifer doesn't like you because you're ugly. And since you think she doesn't like you, you're going to either not try to get with her, or if you're talking to her, you're going to try to not close the deal because you don't want to feel the rejection, because you already think she's going to reject you anyway, because girls don't like you because you're ugly. Do you understand what I'm saying? Now let's flip this around and imagine we changed your story. Now your story is, hey, when I talk to girls, they like me. When I have conversations with women, they enjoy themselves, they like me, and they want to go out on dates with me. This is your new story. Now, let's say we're at the party again, right? But it's a different scenario now as far as your story. I see the two girls. I say, hey, Stacy, what's going on? I haven't seen you in a while. What's going on? Oh, it's your friend. How you doing? Jennifer, nice to meet you. This is my friend, guy who talks to girls and girls like him. Right? Now, what's going to happen is when you're talking to Jennifer, since you believe that when you talk to women, they like you, what you're going to do is you're going to act a different way. Since you think this way, you're going to act the way you think. So since you think girls like you when they talk to you, what you're going to probably end up doing is when you're talking to Jennifer, right? You're going to be flirting with her. You're going to be all playful and shit, you understand? And then you're going to be like, hey, you know what, Jennifer, me and you should get together and, go out and get a drink sometime. Why? Because you think that girls like when you talk to them. You think girls like you when you talk to them. So if you think that, that's what you're going to be putting out there. See, when you keep thinking certain things, it's going to change the way that you act. Do you understand what I'm saying? It's going to change the way that you act. It's really simple. It's something as simple as if you were walking down a fucking alleyway, like let's say you walk down the alleyway every day for to go to work or whatever, because you're like, oh, this is a shortcut to my job, right? And then next thing you know, you hear on the news and it's a big story about, everybody that's walking down this alleyway is getting murdered and they're coming up, they're missing, and there's some mysterious thing going on in that alleyway, some supernatural shit, and people are getting their heads chopped off and all this other stuff, right? And they're like, don't go down that alleyway anymore. If you need to go or the long way or across the street, do that. Don't go down that alleyway, right? Now, since you're hearing all of this shit about how dangerous it is to go down that alley, right? Now you think that it's dangerous to go down that alley. And guess what you're going to do? You are not going to go down that alley. Why? Because the way that you think and what you believe, you're going to act based off of how you think. So since you think it's dangerous to go down that alleyway, you're going to stop going down that alleyway and you're going to go another way. You understand? It's the same way where you tell yourself that story. once you keep telling yourself it, once you keep doing that, then you're going to start acting differently. And then when you start acting differently, you're going to get different results. See, you guys you gotta let go of that, old story. You got to let go of that story. Oh, I'm too ugly and this and this and that. And see, the problem is, this is what a lot of you guys are going to do. I already know a lot of you guys are going to do it. What you're going to do is you're going to sort of, if you try this, you're going to sort of half-ass it. And then you're going to go back to your old story because you're comfortable in your old story. Some of you don't want to change, or some of you, you're scared of the amount of work it takes that you're going to have to do to change, right? So it's the same way, like, let's say if somebody is like, oh, I'm trying to lose weight. And then what their story is, oh, I've tried all these things and I've tried a whole bunch of stuff and it just doesn't work. That's their story. They're like, I tried everything. It doesn't work, right? And of course they didn't try everything. What they did was they probably went to the gym once or twice a week, maybe, for like 2 months. They were still eating crap. You understand? So they were sort of half-assing it. They weren't really putting in the work. They tried to change their story. They're like, oh, I'm going to lose weight. I'm going to, I'm going to eat right. I lose weight. I'm going to look great and all this other stuff. But then they sort of half-assed it. And then they didn't see results. And they're like, see, this is what I'm talking about. You see, it's true. I can't lose weight. I'm going to be out of shape forever. And none of this stuff works because they just half-assed it. So what some of you guys are going to do is that you're going to change your story and you're going to say, you know what? Let's say your story is, look, I talk to a lot of girls and girls just love talking to me and I go on a whole bunch of dates and all this other stuff, right? So you change your story to that from you saying, oh, I'm ugly and girls don't want me. So now you change the story to a lot of girls like me, and when I talk to them, they're feeling me, right? Now what's going to happen is you're going to talk to 1 or 2 girls, maybe 3, and those 3 girls are not going to be feeling you. And then you're going to be like, oh, this is bullshit. This is bullshit. It's because I'm ugly. That's why I can't get girls. You see, you're going to go right back into the nonsense. You feel what I'm saying? And the thing is, I actually talk about this in the first chapter of my book, How to Have Sex with 2 Women a Day, where I'm talking about becoming the man, becoming the type of guy who thinks and believes he can get any woman he wants. Right? And the thing is, even that statement is kind of bold and outrageous. I said, you can get any woman you want, right? That's the story you tell yourself, right? Now, in this context, is it possible for you to get any woman you want? In the right circumstances, yes, it's possible, but is it likely you're going to get any woman you want? Maybe not, because you might talk to a lesbian and she's not going to be into you because you have a penis, right? But you want her and you're not going to get her, right? But the point is that once you tell yourself the story of I can get any woman I want, right? Then it's more likely that you're going to get even more women than you expected because your story has you put at a super high standard, right? So it's sort of like if you say, you know what, I'm the type of guy who's going to make $1 billion. I'm a billionaire. I'm going to make $1 billion, by the time I'm 50. Now, since you had that high standard, since this is your story, right? You start acting different. You start doing the things to get yourself to that billion, right? Now, maybe you don't get to that billion, right? Maybe you only got $500 million, but you never got to the billion. Are you going to really be mad at $500 million? I don't think so. I don't know anybody else who will be mad about that. You understand? So, but the story you're putting out there that, look, this is what I want, this is what I want to get, and you putting it out there on a high standard and not putting yourself on a low standard of, oh, I suck, I'm a loser, nobody likes me. You understand? You got to put yourself at that high standard. Keep telling yourself that story. Change your story, you will change your life. It's that simple. All right? So, guys, that is it. If you have any questions, click the link below. Also, get my book, How to Have Sex with 2 Women a Day. Go to MrLocario.com and get your copy, and I will holler at you later. Oh, and also, I have my new ebook called Locario Quotes. It's 50 awesome quotes, that I've done or whatever. And you can go to, I'm going to leave the link below. You can click the link and get it. Or you can go to Mr. Locario TV right now on the sidebar and you can get it. All right, it's free. And I will holler at you guys later. Remember, the truth is inside you. Peace. I'm gone. All right, now before you click off this video, I need you to do 3 quick things. First, I need you to click the link below to send me your questions, because if you have any questions, I'll answer them in a video. 2, click the link under that to get my free ebook, The Magnificent 10 Crucial Dating Tips for Men. Gives you 10 tips on how to attract beautiful women. And number 3, I want you to click the link under that to go to badboymembership.com, where you get 45 through 90-minute audio and video tutorials every month. Hey, what's up? It's dating and life coach Mr. Locario. Go to badboymembership.com and master the dating game by joining my Bad Boy membership program. In this program, you'll receive 45 through 90-minute, easy-to-follow, step-by-step dating advice tutorials that's guaranteed to help you attract, date, and have sex with beautiful women. Join the Bad Boy membership today by going to badboymembership.com. That's badboymembership.com.